My name is Zach Caslow. This is Caslow Outdoors. On this trip, my good friend Andrew came in from Atlanta to go on his first ever alligator hunt. At the time, there was a tropical storm off the East Coast, so right off the bat, I was worried if we'd even get on the boat, much less see an alligator in these overcast, rainy conditions. Luckily, the weather cleared up enough to hunt, and about 15 minutes into our trip, we were on our first gator. After breaking the line and a handful of empty casts, it's safe to assume this gator will most likely stay wary and keep a low profile the rest of the day. I'm bummed about the missed opportunity, but encouraged that the sun is now out and we had some action. Best to try our luck somewhere else. For this section of the river, we break out the gator call. After seconds of this sound, our next opportunity rises, coming in casting distance. This alligator decides to swim straight under a clump of water hyacinths. Instead of keeping course and picking the weeds off my line, I try to pull through them by applying way too much pressure. Something's got to give, and it was my fishing rod. FWC allows catch and release if caught by snatch hook. This gator is around 5 feet and is too small for what we're after, so we decide to let him go. Time to head to our next spot. Our decision to go out has paid off. Rain clouds have dissipated and the bad weather slump is finally over. The sun has called out the gators and we happen to be in the perfect spot. We've located 2 nice gators, and one is a monster. It's time to see if they'll take the beef lung. Maintaining a steady speed, I pitched a bait where the gator descended below the water. Once we are far enough away from the bait, I'm on the lookout for a good place to hide. We wrap around the river's bend and lay up against some reeds, positioning the front of the boat to face the drop area. It's time to get quiet and patient. This is now a waiting game. Within 15 minutes of dropping the bait, the monster gator is back up and the line is going out. We think the plan has worked.
I think he has it. Okay, that's why he's not taking out any more line. Yep, he has our bait. Yep, he has it. Yep, he has it. Yep, just hit the top. I think he swallowed it too, which is great. Okay, we got a really, really nice gator on right now. I think he's easy 11, but we're about to see. We're about to fire this thing up and go after him.
Nice and easy.
Nice and easy.
That's good. Nice and easy.
Neutral.
I think that's reverse. Neutral.
Left.
Andrew drives us towards the path of our line, collecting it as we go. Because this reel only has 40-pound test, we apply very little pressure and use it as a location indicator. We are looking for the 20-foot, 400-pound test leader attached to this line. This indicator line helps us know exactly where to cast with the heavier line and snatch hook. But because of the deep water and the steady moving current, getting in the right position proved to be a little more timely and difficult than expected. Not only that, every time we got close, the gator would hear or feel the motor switch gears, causing him to move away from the boat. After 10 minutes or so of chasing, he finally slips up, stopping in an ideal shallow area. We are finally in a good position to cast.
See the leader at all or no?
No, that's why I was like,
I'm surprised we were seeing bubbles when you.
neutral.
Hold this. Hold this.
My biggest concern is happening. The gator is trying to bury himself into the wall of reeds ahead. If we don't keep him out, he could force us to break both lines. We have successfully kept them from going into the reeds, and now I see the 20-foot leader, which means he's close. This prompts me to grab the harpoon, but before I can get in the right position, the gator takes off towards the middle of the river. I would have liked to have gotten the harpoon in him, but I'm relieved that he's back in the open. The gator is now directly under the boat, and I'd feel much more comfortable if we had another heavy line in this massive animal. I passed the rod off to Andrew and grabbed the harpoon. Apparently, I didn't learn from my lesson before, and I do it again. I apply way too much pressure on this rod, and it snaps in half. The gator takes off, and now we're down 2 rods. After several minutes of fighting 200-pound Tess, this gator shows me just how powerful he is, dragging me across the deck. I start throwing my big handline hook in attempts to bring the gator up from the bottom. Because of the gator's position, I'm unsuccessful. It's time to bring the 200-pound Tess line in by hand. Coming up fast, my harpoon sticks.
Get another harpoon.
With a gator this size, I want to put another harpoon in to make sure we have more than one secure line.
I got a lot of snacks. He's pulling now, he's pulling.
You got him.
It's loose. He's still pulling, he's pulling.
See the gator?
I saw his head when he poked up on the side here. How big do you think he is? What do you need, dude? He's still alive.
After a hard fight with this incredible animal, it's time to break out the bang stick. At this point, we're exhausted, having a hard time even getting his head up over the rail. So we decide to pull him into shore to see if we can get him in that way. After several attempts, it's clear to us that he's not coming in the boat.
We probably have 11 footer here. And we obviously couldn't get him in the boat.
We back up the truck and pull him out. As we pull him out, it's clear to me that he's the biggest gator that I've taken. This gator will supply a lot of meat for my family and friends, and I'm glad that I was part of this process. This trip with Andrew will forever go down as one of the coolest hunts I've ever been on. The weather was incredibly unique and beautiful, our trip was jam-packed with action from start to finish, and we landed Andrew's first alligator, which happens to be my largest gator to date. Most importantly, I got to catch up and hang out with a good friend in God's creation.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you don't want to miss out on any upcoming content, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. If you want to see the last video, click here.